I close my eyes, draw back the curtains to see for certain what I thought I knew. Come on, come on, come on. What are you doing? Far, far away, far, far away, the sun was gleaming, and a sheep was bleating, any dream will do. Give me, no, it's just me, it's just me. Give me my coloured coat, my amazing coloured coat. Bang, 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 bang. Give me my coloured coat, my amazing coloured harmony coat.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, right on, Hysteria 3!
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. It gives me several hot splashes of delight to welcome all of you to the wide world of Hysteria 3. The last time we presented a Hysteria, which for reasons too intricate and grotesque for the sane mind to grasp we called Hysteria 2, there were 2 Berlins, 2 Germanys. Ceausescu ruled in Romania. The most famous Gascoigne in England was Bamba. And Margaret Thatcher ruled in 10 Downing Street. Hysteria 2 changed all that. And we're proud, if a little puzzled, to have wrought such extraordinary changes on the world stage. It's extraordinary, isn't it, that just with a few amusing jokes and the sudden and unexpected use of the word clitoris, one can bring down dictators, ring up the Iron Curtain, and end Margaret Thatcher's reign. But we also succeeded, and perhaps this was more broadly within the terms of our remit, we succeeded in raising a great deal of money for people with AIDS. Now this year, hysteria, and those of you who are verbally minded might like to know that this year is actually an anagram of hysteria. Quite interesting. It's also, well, yes, quite interesting. I don't think it can entirely be a coincidence. However, this year, Hysteria hopes to raise even more money. A nice newspaper person asked, well, a newspaper person anyway, asked me the other day if the purpose of Hysteria was to raise consciousnesses. This shows a fundamental misunderstanding of the purpose of Hysteria, which has always been to have as much fun as is possible without the use of baby oil. Just one look around this auditorium shows me that your consciousnesses don't need raising. You know that there are hundreds of thousands of people dying of a dreadful disease. And you know that not enough is being done about it. And you're not above extending a brotherly or sisterly hand. In a nation led by fools, it becomes us, all of us, to show that fellow feeling, mercy, tender regard are much more common human attributes than indifference and judgment. Some people might believe that decent, civilized values are best represented by intolerance, pitiless indifference. Some people might believe that decent, human, civilized values are best represented by wishing to bring back hanging or being offended with the use of the word fuck. Others believe that decent, civilized human values reside best in kindliness, tenderness, and delight. That's all. That's the Hysteria philosophy. And I use the word philosophy wrongly. But as the Archbishop of Canterbury likes to say, that's enough tedious wank, let's party.
It's no good. I feel so ghastly, so sordid and ghastly and dirty and ghastly, and dirty and ghastly and sordid and ghastly and dirty. I can't keep this a secret any longer. I must tell her now. Amanda, my darling, come here, would you?
What is it, Elliot? Goodness, it's cold. Do you mind if I poke the fire?
I'd rather you didn't. Amanda, I feel so ghastly and dirty and sordid and ghastly and sordid and dirty and dirty and dirty.
Then you must wash.
Amanda, don't make fun.
I'm not. You really smell. But don't worry, dear. I love you still. I love you terribly.
I know. And that's what makes this even harder.
Oh, I see. Well, all right then, but just don't grab my hair.
No. Amanda, you don't understand. I want to go it alone.
Oh, okay, I'll watch.
No! No, Amanda, for goodness sake!
Oh, pull yourself together, Elliot.
I can't pull myself together. The brutal fact is, I'm leaving you.
Chim chim chiroo, governor, and all that tuppence stuff. You know it's a now tuppence a bag. You find the ball bells, get what I see you with it.
Amanda, you can't skirt the issue simply by talking bollocks.
What's happened to us, Elliot, darling? You used to be so cheered by my Dick Van Dyke impersonations. What is it? What do you want from me? What kind of woman do you want me to be? Just say it and I'll be it. Beguiling? No. Athletic? Satin match. Rod Steiger. You're coming to the party with me, Laurie. Nobody in Oklahoma makes fun of Judd Clark. Mysterious. Do
Rod Steiger again.
So you're a homicide detective, Mr. Tibbs?
No. Amanda, don't you understand what it takes to make a marriage? It takes honesty, commitment, galvanized aluminium.
But who needs those sort of things when we have love?
Love's a messy business.
Oh, we can always put down more towels, darling. Oh. darling, don't you remember when we used to be so terribly happy? Terribly, terribly happy and terribly in love and terribly rich and handsome and happy and terribly... Shall I put on some music?
If you must.
Do you remember Venice?
Venice. How could I forget our wedding night?
Oh. How we kissed. It took 6 gondoliers to remove your tongue from my throat.
Yes. Your nipples were as hard as Bakelite bullets.
Oh. And the gypsy band. Oh, how we danced and danced and danced.
Yes. But that was then and this is now! For goodness sake, don't you understand, Amanda? All these years I've been living a lie. It's been... It's been hanging over me like an old man's unusually dangly conker bag. The brutal fact is, I've been unfaithful. I never meant to hurt you.
Hurt me. Hurt me. You could never hurt me. Shrimp dick. But I hope you at least had the common sense to use protection.
Yes, a rubber Johnny. Well, I say rubber, it was in fact Art Deco. It was made of Cladis Cliff pottery in the shape of Nancy Mitford.
All eyes will be on me tonight at the party. I hope you at least to save me embarrassment by telling me, who is she?
Not she, darling. They.
I forgive you. But darling, please, be gentle. Tell me their names.
Clarissa.
Oh, I forgive you.
Mabel.
Oh, I forgive you.
Jeff.
I forgive you.
Shergar.
I forgive you, I forgive you, I forgive you.
Bonnie Langford.
Oh! You bastard!
Thanks a lot for having me back. You have to be asked back. You just can't wander out here. Some people didn't get asked back this year. I don't want to mention names. Jury Hall. She must have really screwed up. Well, you can't have a tight butt forever, you know what I'm saying? Maybe she was tired. I mean, you know what she has to do for a living? God bless her, she has to walk up a ramp and then back down it. Everybody applauds for the fact she's thrown up everything she's ever eaten. Jerry Hall. I hate thin people. I'm sorry, I'll come out of the closet. I hate them. You know, with those flat, tan stomachs? They wear those bikinis, it's like they put a piece of string up their behind. How they don't saw themselves in half is a miracle. Everyone tells you childbirth is the most beautiful thing to happen to womanhood. That you truly become one with the earth. Then they give you a book with Jane Seymour on the front. Skipping through some lilies, tossing her afterbirthie to the windy. Do not believe these people. It's fucking hell. Don't believe those drawings either, where you get the curled up Martian-looking thing, where the head gets bigger and bigger in every drawing. These are just drawings. The truth is, he is ripping your insides to shreds. No room. Your organs end up squished into the roof of your mouth. Your navel ends up on the back of your head. You don't even know where to go to the bathroom from anymore. It could be your wrist for all you know. And can we discuss pain-wise? To me, delivering a child is like sitting on top of the Eiffel Tower and spinning. And would anyone like to know what breastfeeding feels like? I will tell you. Wait for a truck to come by. When it slows down, super glue the end of your nins onto the bumper. Now shout, giddy up. I won't fill you with the full horrors because I don't want to put you off. Only to say that my waters broke in an Indian restaurant on a man who I was sharing my bench with. I just looked at him and went, surf's up, and he passed out. Finally, I had a cesarean because I was not built to be stretched. I remain almost a virgin, and luckily, I can still do my toss the ping pong ball act, which is more than I can say for Jerry Hall. Thank you very much.
How kind. Thank you, punters. Yes, I'd better explain before we go any further. I've had a bit of a mishap. You're probably thinking I've been scrapping with the boys again. What actually happened to me, I was auditioning for that coffee beans advert. And I saw Gareth Hunt, and I got carried away. Still, I'm thrilled to be here for this comedy feast. And what I thought I'd do for my allotted spot, I thought I'll play a game of celebrity sticky moments, which is, indeed. You try and stop me. It's the same as ordinary sticky moments, but without the riff-raff. Quality celebrities, have we not, Russell?
We certainly have, Julian.
Are you enjoying yourself?
I'm beside myself.
Yes. He's hysterical, aren't you?
I am.
And somewhere lurking in the wings is my glamorous assistant, the very lovely Mr. Hugh Jelly. How are you, Hugh?
I'm very well indeed, sir. Thank you.
Do you have some top-notch celebrities for us this evening?
They're breathtaking, sir.
Right, well, without further ado, we'll press on, shall we? I'm a press-on kind of comedian. You've heard of press-on towels. Well, I'm a press-on comedian. Now, any intelligent guess as to who is in this window? Well, you wouldn't know, would you? It is, in fact, the very lovely Sarah Greene, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening, Julian.
Hello there.
Good evening.
Like to hold my hand?
I'd love to.
There were a few squeals of excitement from up there.
Oh, it's the sky.
No stains on the upholstery, please. I nearly said no snails on the upholstery.
Freudian slap. Oh, Freud.
A Freudian slap, she said.
Really gave something
It's
away.
uncanny, isn't it? You leave the jokes to me, Sarah.
Sorry.
So, Sarah, what can we say? Sarah has a wonderful way of communicating with children. She makes them feel superior to her. And what can I say, Sarah? What can we say about your husband, Mike Smith?
He adores you.
Melvyn Bragg. The lovely Melvyn Bragg, ladies and gentlemen. How are you? Slightly clammy there, aren't we?
Yes.
You looking forward to the proceedings?
No.
Melvyn is, of course, father of Billy Bragg. He bought... don't clap on your own, please, Sarah. Someone will throw you a fish, you know that. Melvyn... That's being interfered with. I wouldn't get that off you, Melvyn, would I? I'll see you in a moment. I'm moving over this side. Another top-notch celebrity. Would you welcome, please, the very lovely, the very glamorous Anna Ford. Now, Anna, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
It's
Under the circumstances.
Yes, well, you're in a little window like we see you on the telly. Now, of course, apart from being queen of the auto cue, you may not know this, Anna's life story has recently been filmed, starring Barbara Windsor. And you were lucky to get her. Moving on to our final celebrity, I'm thrilled to welcome... No, we've had him. Oh, yes. I'm thrilled to welcome Clement Freud, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, you're responsible, well, for lots of things, but you're responsible for Emma Freud as well, aren't you? You'll take a couple of marks away, please. We have our cards, thank you. We'll play our first game, which is a kind of word game, Sarah. All right. True or false, can you tell me? My husband has the sex appeal of a 17th century politician.
Which one?
Which one? Which husband or which...
No, which 17th century politician?
It's just a true or false. I'll have to hurry you, I'm afraid.
Oh,
The
it's a
dropping
trick
off
question.
here.
False, sorry.
False. I'm sorry. Look, the answer was true. It was true. So I'll give you 1 mark, though,
Thank
just
you.
because I like you and you're smiling at me. Melvyn, you behave yourself, please. The symphonies of Gustav Mahler, like the symphonies of Beethoven, completely rejuvenated classical music. Discuss. And it is a comedy evening, very much.
Well, I usually have autocue and start at about 10:30, but beginning with Mahler. No.
No, I'll give you 2 marks, though, because that was very amusing indeed. Anna, what's happened to number 7? Oh, here it is. True or false? This is a question of etiquette, all right? When dining with the Duchess of York, it's impolite to draw attention to her nose bag. Is that true or false?
True, unless you're wearing one too.
I will accept that. The answer was actually false because she couldn't care less, but I will accept it. Full marks for Anna there. Clement, I must warn you now that for this question I can only accept your first answer, okay? Only your first words. What is the meaning of life?
A tin of anchovies.
Are you high on drugs? Very good. I think that is the meaning of life as far as I'm concerned, if not 2 tins. Double marks for you there. It's also a film by Monty Python, but we won't go into that. Could we have the scores at the end of that round, please, Hugh?
Yes, indeed. Clement has 2, Sarah 3, and Melvyn and Anna both have 4. Sarah and Clement.
Sarah Keldamage, come out here. We have to object to celebrity punters now, which seems a bit harsh.
Thank goodness.
And Clement, could I trouble you? Oh, it's a shame, I know. But we have some Hysteria T-shirts for you to take with you.
Thank you very much.
And you've been marvellous. Sarah and Clement, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Would you like to go off that way? Melvyn, come into this window so we're all nice and snug. And we'll play our deciding game to see who is our ultimate winner. We have the... Would you like to take the plate of chocolate eclairs? No, not yet. It's a big one, isn't it? You're only allowed to eat... Sorry?
This is going to be a team game.
I don't think it is. You're only allowed to eat one of these when you answer a question correctly, okay? And the winner will be the person with least left on the plate at the end. So you want to shove as much in your mouth as possible, which has always been my motto. Now, this game is... Normally this is a fingers on the buzzers round, but we haven't got any buzzers, so if you know the answer, Anna, would you stick your hand up, okay, in the air, all right? Question 1. Hands up if you know the answer, please. What former sports commentator now wears turquoise clothing and claims to be the son of God? Anna?
David Icke.
David Icke. I've got Dickie Davis written down. I think that's a misprint. You're correct. Have a chocolate eclair.
Thank you very
All
much.
the way in, please. That's not very ambitious. Any more? Any room for you? Okay, next question. Who painted the Mona Lisa? Hands up if you know the answer. No. I will accept almost anything you care to say. No? You haven't got dentures, have you?
I don't know who did it.
Tom O'Connor. Spell hysteria backwards. Melvyn, please, come on. It's for charity. Hysteria backwards. A.
I.
I.
R.
R.
You have to keep going. E. T. S. I. H.
Marvellous, correct. Have a chocolatey play. You've got chocolate round your mouth. I presume it's chocolate. Now let's have a look and see who was. Oh, it wasn't you, was it? It was the lovely Anna Ford, ladies and gentlemen. Would you like to come out here? Well done. Melvyn. Marvellous. Well done. Congratulations. Stand on this side of me. Commiserations, Melvyn. You've cleared your mouth up,
yes.
So that's a boon.
Does it help the,
We have some flowers for you. They're for Melvyn, and those are for you. We also have a bottle of champagne for you both. Here we are. Hurry along, please. So that's just about the... Oh, no, we've got a crown. We just got to give you a crown. Like that. A perfect fit. Thank you very much. Melvyn, Bragg, Anna Ford. Oh, thank you.
Yes, I do know how you can get a disease, yeah. First of all, you do go into the swimming pool and you do get a mushroom on your foot, and it is called a Veronica. It is like a tiny snake made out of flea sick, and it does wriggle all the way up your leg and eat all your sausage meat, for because it is very hungry and there wasn't any plankton in the swimming pool. Then it does try and crawl out of your belly button, but luckily your belly button has been sewn up with catgut, and it can never come undone except in heaven, if Jesus wanted to see what you had for dinner or see how many lungs you got. Then it does try and crawl out of your luggo, and that is when you must go to the doctor, and he does light a match and look at your brain and say, how many fingers have I got? And if you can only see one thumb, then that means you are mental. And you must live in an ambulance and have your arms sewed together and wear your pants on your head and only eat big jobs. And you must say this special rhyme: Tarzan in the jungle having a bit of fun, trying to stick a monkey up orangutan's bum. Yes, you must say that. And you must have all your hair cut off and sewing on your head because they have taken your brain out with the electric tweezers so that you do not get rabies or punch an old lady on the bosoms. Then, if you're very poorly, then the old nun with the tea towel on her head and the big teeth, she might come along and give you medicine that makes you better, but she might be too busy putting fly spray on the poor black babies. So then you must stick up the Veronica into a bucket of disinfectant. Or you could eat 12 Mars bars +1 +2 +20. And then, when the Veronica does come up and say, more tea, please, Vicar, then you must grab it by the throat and pull it, and your whole body does go inside out, and you do look like a butcher's shop. And that is how you do get a disease. It's true.
We'd like to do a sketch for you now. It's set in a shop, and it's called the Hedge Sketch. The Hedge Sketch. Thank you.
Hello, I'd like to buy a hedge, please.
Good morning, sir. Can I help you?
Well, what sorts have you got?
A hedge? Well, we have 3 sorts, sir. What sort of hedge would you like?
Could I have a look at the Imperial, please?
We have the Royal, the Imperial, and the Standard hedge.
No, it's a present.
Certainly, sir. May I ask, is this hedge for you?
I'm not married.
Ah. For your wife, perhaps?
Not at all. I'm in no hurry.
Well, if you wouldn't mind waiting, I'll just ring... Start again.
Start again.
Right. Good morning, sir. How may I help you?
Hello, I'd like to buy a hedge, please.
A hedge? Certainly, sir. What sort would you like?
Well, we have 3 sorts, sir. The Royal, the Imperial, or the standard hedge?
Could I have a look at the Imperial, please?
Certainly, sir. May I ask, is the hedge for you?
No, it's a present.
Ah, for your wife, perhaps?
I'm not married.
Right, well, I'll just ring down to the stockroom if you wouldn't mind waiting.
Not at all. I'm in no hurry.
Well, there's no phone.
It's under the counter.
Hello, stockroom. Have we got any Imperial hedges left?
I'll just have a look, sir.
Oh, thanks. He's just having a look.
We've got one Imperial left.
Right, I'll take it then.
Ah, you're in luck, sir. Stockroom tells me we've got just one Imperial left.
Cash, if you don't mind.
Certainly, sir. How would you like to pay? Start again, start again. Hedge, sketch. Good morning, sir. How may I help you?
Hello, I'd like to buy a hedge, please.
Hedge, certainly, sir. What hedge would you like?
What sorts have you got?
Well, we've got three sorts, sir. The Royal, the Imperial, and the Standard.
Could I have a look at the Imperial, please?
Certainly, sir. May I ask, is this hedge for you?
No, it's a present.
Ah, for your wife, perhaps?
I'm not married.
Ah, well, if you wouldn't mind waiting, I'll just bring down to the stockroom.
Not at all. I'm in no hurry.
Hello, stockroom.
On the phone.
Oh.
Come on.
Hello, stockroom. Do we have any Imperial hedges left? Just having a look. Ah, you're in luck, sir. Stockroom tells me we've got just one Imperial left.
Right, I'll take it then.
Certainly, sir. How would you like to pay?
Cash, if you don't mind.
Cash would be perfectly convenient, sir.
Is over and done, and you've won, though I tried. Now I'm tired and emotional. Don't worry, darling, I know that I'll get by. I'm sorry for ripping your clothes up and also your black eye. Please try to understand, I was mad. You're a cad, damn your hide. I'm so tired and emotional. I walk around from room to room, and your presence is still there. It lingers on like the perfume of your smelly underwear. I still keep there on the bedroom chair. I think of how it might have been if our love affair had lasted. But now I'm tired and emotional, darling, and I think that you are such a rotten bastard. Used to be a time when I think he adores me, till I overheard him telling some friend, oh, she bores me. Now I sit alone with a bottle of rum, feeling numb, I'm pie-eyed, oh, so tired and emotional. Oh, woe is me, oh, lonely me, what am I to do? I can't go on with this misery when I still want you. Boo-hoo-hoo, boo-hoo-hoo. No one else could ever. I'm sorry. No one else could ever take your place, dear. And though right now I'd like to smash your face, dear, I want to get down on my hands and knees and beg you to stay and not go away. Don't leave me, please. Don't leave me. still got my pride. And anyway, I'm far too tired and emotional. Yes, I'm far too tired. Tired and emotional.
Good evening, welcome. I've just, before I go into stuff, I've been reading a very good book. You must read this book. It's called Sex, Drugs and Me by J.R. Hartley. And it's a real cracker. It's a sequel to Fly Fishing. And, no, it's true, because I had a rough childhood. You'll probably all know, I had to escape from Nazi Germany. 1937. Well, we were living in Munich. My father was the Liberal Party candidate for Bavaria, and in the 33 elections, and he was standing on jobs, pensions, freedom of speech, good liberal values, and he was up against Hermann Goering, who was on the vote for me or I'll kill you, good Nazi values, And, well, we were losing hands down, and we had to escape. And so under the cover of darkness, my mother, she went down to the river, and from the riverbank, she took some reeds, and she took some mud, and together she fashioned them into the shape of a U-boat. And we floated off down the river, and I escaped. It was great, didn't see my friends. And I was brought up after that by wolves, actually. Well, they were out yachting one day, and it was great, it was wonderful. It was great being brought up by wolves as a kid, it was wonderful. They gave me a name, they called me Urr. And they taught me all the stuff, hunting, fishing, backgammon, all that stuff. And wolves are natural at fishing, they wait by fast-flowing rivers, and then when a big fish comes along just at the right moment, they reel it in, really, really quick. Land it, cook it gas mark 4 with a bit of herb. And we were wolves, we were young, we were crazy. We'd make love with the moonlight, well, they would. I'd watch and say, no, I'm a fool, thank you. And we're hunting all the time, we're hunting those things over there, We're wolves, we're hunting them. We're not sure what they are. It was a crap song. But we didn't care, there was no choir practice, and we just went with it, it was okay. Well, to be honest, we weren't all, 19 wolves and me, and I was trying to blend in, going, woof, woof. And these bears would stand there and say, oh, what's that? I go, hi, I'm a wolf. Catch you later. And we'd be chasing these things. They turned out to be antelopes, that was great. And, because we eat them. And it was great, we were chasing them. And after about 20 minutes, they put on a real lead. And so we had a discussion and agreed to move our legs as well. That really one of the key things, if you are hunting, you've got to move towards them. Otherwise, they go away. And after that, whoa, those wolves move, because they got 4 legs between them. They got 4 legs each. Not 4 legs between them. That would be 1 leg every 5 wolves, wouldn't it? Because if you had that, you'd have 1 wolf on 1 leg, hopping, dragging 4 wolves behind him on strings. And that isn't quite as efficient hunting method as your basic wolfie running after them. So whoosh, off they were, and I couldn't keep up with them. 2 legs, So I took to driving a small red car. it was the same mind position and everything, you know. And it was a hatchback, it was roomy. So I said, guys, get in the back. And it was great, you know. And I turned the blow heater up full so it blew their ears back. And we were thundering down the bayou then, you know, or whatever it was, you know, and the antelope getting really fleet. I go, oh my God, they're catching up, you know, because all the wolves were on space hoppers once. And way behind it in the car, and I wound down the window. I said, get the gun, shoot, shoot. And I said, well, wolves, we haven't got guns. I said, oh no, we couldn't do anything. We just drive along them, and the antelope were grinning. So I just leant out the window and went, arr, that's my name. It was funny in those days, anyway. Anyway, that's all for me. Thank you very much. My name's Eddie Izzard. Good night.
You light up another cigarette and I pour the wine. It's 4 o'clock in the morning and it's starting to get light. Now I'm right where I want to be, losing track of time. But I wish that it was still last night. You're in another world, but I can read your mind. How can you be so far away, lying by my side? When I go away, I'll miss you, and I will be thinking of you every night and day. Just promise me you'll wait for me, 'cause I'll be saving soon. Promise me you'll wait for me. I need to know you feel the same way too. And I'll be home soon.
Thanks. I got food poisoning today. I don't know when I'm gonna use it. I was walking down the street, there was a sign stapled to a telephone pole. It said, "Reward, lost $50. If found, just keep it." Every morning I get up and I make instant coffee and I drink it so I'll have enough energy to make the regular coffee. One time, right in the middle of a job interview, I took out a book and I started reading. The guy said, "What the hell are you doing?" I said, "Let me ask you this. If you're in a vehicle and you're traveling at the speed of light and then you turned your lights on, would they do anything?" He said, "I don't know." I said, "Forget it then. I don't want to work for you." Sponges grow in the ocean. That kills me. I wonder how much deeper the ocean would be if that didn't happen. I got a new dog. He's a paranoid retriever. He brings back everything because he's not sure what I threw him. Went up to a tourist information booth. I walked up and I said, "Yeah, so tell me about some people who were here last year." Woke up this morning, I was folding my bed back into a couch. I almost broke both my arms because it's not one of those kind of beds. Hermits have no peer pressure. It's a good thing to say to the police next time they stop you. "License and registration, please." "Hermits have no peer pressure." "License and registration, please." Whenever I think about the past, it just brings back so many memories. "License and registration, please." There's a fine line between fishing and just standing on the shore like an idiot. "License and registration, please." What's another word for thesaurus? See the cop start crying. My favorite chair is a wicker chair. It's my favorite chair because I stole it. I was at a party, a very crowded party, when no one was looking. I went over to it and I unraveled it. I stuck it through the keyhole in the door. The girl who was in it was almost killed. My girlfriend hates it when we take a bath together and I practice skipping rocks. Bought some land, it was kind of cheap, it was on somebody else's property. Bought an ant farm, I don't know where I'm gonna get tractors that small. Bought a cordless extension cord. Bought a decaffeinated coffee table. Can't even tell by looking at it. Whenever I pick up someone hitchhiking, I always like to wait a few minutes before I say anything to them. And I say, "So, how far do you think you were going?" "Put your seatbelt on, I want to try something." I saw it in a cartoon, but I'm pretty sure I can do it. My grandfather was on the first submarine ever. Rather than the periscope, they had a kaleidoscope. My God, we're surrounded. I used to spend time with my grandfather. When my mother was going to have another baby, she would send me out of the way, make me spend time with my grandfather. He was completely out of his mind, totally insane. Every day he made us stand in a little room together, side by side, looking straight ahead for 3 minutes without talking to each other. He told me it was elevator practice. Now sometimes I'll be on an elevator with someone, I'll say, "Did your grandfather make you do this too?" They'll say, "What the hell are you talking about?" If you shoot a mime, should you use a silencer? My grandmother was also insane. She had pierced hearing aids. Unscented perfume. Came in a little empty bottle. One time she said, Stephen, come over here. She said, here's $5 and don't tell your mother I'm giving this to you. I said, it'll cost you more than that. I like to tease my plants when I water them. I water them with ice cubes. I like to skate on the other side of the ice. I like to reminisce with people I don't know. I like to fill my tub up with water, then turn the shower on and act like I'm in a submarine that's been hit. So I was in bed with my girlfriend reading the second-hand diary that I bought. You know the pajamas with the feet? I just had the feet. You know when you put a stick in the water and it looks like it's bent, but it really isn't? That's why I don't take baths. She said, let me ask you this. And I said, what? And she said, if you could know how and when you were going to die, would you want to know? I said, no. She said, forget it then. Thanks a lot.
Ladies and gentlemen, a major problem with AIDS continues to be the technical question of the condom. How to raise the subject in intimate conversation, how then to get it on without spoiling the intimate moment. As ever, it's the form of words, it's the problem with language that gets in the way. We have therefore contacted some of the top writers in the country to elicit their best shot at dialogues to cope with the condom on cock crisis. And we've invited some of our friends, and yours too, I'm sure, to help read out those dialogues. Obviously, we would have acted them for real, but it's so difficult to get an erection of a double bed on the stage due to the smallness of the wings. So you're going to have to wear the print frock of Dame Imagination. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome them. Now, some of you, not all of you, will have noticed that our readers are not naked. To compensate for this disappointing lack of nudity, and to help you mentally to strip our artists, I've asked the partners of each one of our 4 readers to supply a sort of physical eroto sketch of each of these readers. I read from their loved ones' physical descriptions verbatim. Rowan has a surprisingly pert bottom. His chest hair is dark and matted, with a sweet smell of pine unexpectedly emanating from it. In moments of especial intensity, his toes go pink and curl inwards. Craig Ferguson's dark, massive physique can be dangerous in the wrong hands. What appears to be a large birthmark in the shape of a referee's whistle offers invigorating surprises. Unusually pretty knees. The sight of Hugh Laurie's body, when burnished, oiled and sprawled on a rug in front of the fire, is enough to tempt the most jaded of appetites. Notable features are the rosy come-kiss-me cheeks and the big, round, blue come-hump-me savagely nipples. Which are kept scrupulously clean at all times. Emma has one of the most fabulous and sought-after bodies in the United Kingdom. From her celebrated and luscious tresses To the perfect contours of her silhouette, she is one big shaggable heap of woman. We're very grateful to Emma Freud for that description. Well, excellent. Our four artists are now, in our imaginations, completely naked. So, on with the readings. The first of our four authors is Bob Larby, scriptwriter of H.E. Bates's The Darling Buds of May.
Oh, Pop Larkin, put this condom on your knob, will you?
Oh, yes, that fits perfect.
Not perhaps quite as helpful as we'd hoped. Bob's busy, of course, writing the sequel, The Darling Buds of June, and clearly didn't have much time for us, but it's the thought that counts. Next, we were very lucky to get some dialogue from one of Britain's leading playwrights. The scene is a fashionable bedroom in the heart of London's famous West End. The dialogue is by none other than Tom Stoppard.
Darling, roll it on and let's make love.
Strange you should say make, as if the act of coition were producing an artifact of some kind. The painter Giotto could draw a perfect circle freehand.
How is that relevant?
Well, it's an artifact, too. I'm sorry, loved one, but I seem to be losing rigidity.
Losing rigidity or gaining frigidity? There's only an F in it.
There are two F's in stiffness. A fortissimo of love. I'm sorry, Angel, but I can't stay firm.
Stay firm or stop hard.
Thank you, Tom Stoppard. We were also very lucky to get some dialogue from the author of that beautiful, lyrical Japanese art film, Empire of the Senses, Ai no Corrida. Unfortunately, the script did arrive in Japanese. We haven't been able to translate it, but I think the message still comes through.
Haitomi no Takimo. Ha Mashato Durex Super Smooth.
Ha Masho Durex Inito.
Wishama Durex Makito. Oh,
oh, oh, oh, oh, oh,
So sorry. Sensual joy there from the land of the rising sun. Our final reading comes from the pen of that most enduringly popular of thriller writers, Dick Francis.
Darling, I think I know you and love you well enough to be able to say without embarrassment that I'm going to slip this rubber sheath over my dong so that our lovemaking will be safer and securer without being less intense. That doesn't worry you, does it, dearest? No.
There we have it. Thank you very much.
John Pinkerton, Mike, Brian Miller, Rod, Andrew, Kurt Dawson,
Peter Turnbull, Michael, Chris, Sandy, Tom Laurie, and Anna.
Ian Charlson, Kevin Bills, Colin, Paul, Jim, and Harriet.
Ken Irwin, Douglas McAndrew, Alex, Frank, Graham, and David Ruffle.
Mari Rene, James Walker,
John, Peter, Simon, and Geoffrey Burridge.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, as I'm sure you're aware, there has been, over the last few weeks, a great deal of nonsense spoken in the newspapers and written on the television on the issue of homosexuality in Her Majesty's Armed Forces, or HMAF, as we call them for short. Now, there are just one or two very brief points I'd like to make. The question, it seems to me, is does homosexuality, as a way of life, or even just as a hobby, does it seriously undermine the fighting efficiency of a military organization, which is essentially what the British Army is in the business of being? Now, I should make it clear, first of all, that I myself have nothing against homosexuality in principle. My concern is whether or not it actually works in practice. I've always taken the view that if God had intended men to be homosexual, he would have issued them with more attractively shaped bottoms. However, I should point out that I have known several homosexuals, quite well, in fact. Indeed, I used to go to bed with a young Turkish boy named Abul when I was stationed in Cyprus. Most obliging lad. But anyway, it later turned out that he was, in fact, homosexual. I had to stop seeing him once I'd found out, naturally, but I raised this in order to show that I have nothing personally against homosexual men. I wouldn't want my daughter to marry one, perhaps, but that's another matter. However, I have very severe misgivings when I hear the idea being mooted, and it is being mooted, possibly over-mooted, that our national defense be placed in the hands of gay sexuals of any description. Because, you see, the fact is that your modern homosexual is a highly trained, highly motivated individual, capable, if he or she so chooses, of resembling an ordinary person at a moment's notice. Precisely. Pretty chilling thought. Now, you place one or two of these dedicated chutney ferrets in the midst of a British fighting unit, and they are going to have a bloody field day. Now, of course, there are those who will say that in its reaction to homosexuality, the British Army has been hidebound. Look at the Foreign Office, they will say. And of course, it is true that there are one or two heterosexuals in the Foreign Office. I'm sorry, one or two homosexuals in the Foreign Office. No, I'm sorry, one or two heterosexuals in the Foreign Office. And that, let's face it, seems to function pretty well most of the time. Well, to that I would say this. When it comes to the defense of our country, pretty well, most of the time, is a long way short of being good enough. So I leave you with the question, is it really preferable that our young people should spend their time going to bed with each other, or would you rather that they got on with a job of killing in the most cost-efficient manner possible? I believe there is only one answer. Thank you.
Good evening and welcome to the National Theatre for this, the third in our series of informal conversations with major performers. It has been a very exciting season so far, which has encompassed such performing giants as Sir Ian McKellen, Dame Judi Dench, and of course, Christopher Biggins. But tonight we are to welcome a man who, although no giant, has nevertheless made a huge impression in his chosen field. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Elton John. Elton, do you mind if I call you Elton?
No, it's fine.
Good. Well, Elton. I'm sure the first question that everybody would like to ask you is this. Funny name, Elton. How did you come by it?
Well, I used to be in a band, and I wanted to become a singer in my own right, and I wanted to choose a name, and the saxophone player in the band was called Elton, so I chose that name.
Hmm? Did you ever consider John Elton?
No.
You didn't? Okay. Right, well, let's start with those early albums, then. One of which I believe was called simply Elton John.
Yes, that's correct.
And you didn't feel awkward with the name at all?
No.
You didn't feel that people might say, wait a minute, they mean John Elton. They've cocked up the record sleeve and printed the bloody name the wrong way around. You didn't think that?
No, I thought it sounded great, and, you know, I thought people would be more interested in the music rather than the name.
Hmm. Now, to the songs themselves, many of the lyrics were, of course, written by Bernie Taupin.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
Well, I'd like to talk about Bernie for a while, since obviously he's been an enormous influence on your career.
Yes, he has, yes.
Tell me, did you ever discuss changing his name? Because presumably Taupin Bernie would have been more consistent with your Elton John.
Look, do you want to talk about the old songs or not?
All right, the songs. The old songs. Your song is a classic, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite popular, yes.
Well, there is a verse in that song in which, talking about the eyes of the person that the song is about, you sing, "Excuse me for asking, these things I do. You see, I've forgotten if they're green or they're blue."
Yes.
What I'd like to know is this. Is it this sort of chronic forgetfulness that led you to forget that Elton is not, in fact, a Christian name at all? It is a surname. And not a very attractive one at that.
Let's talk about something else, shall we? Forget the name.
All right, Mr. John. Let's talk about being a stage performer, should we? Tell me, do you ever watch other performers and get jealous?
I'm not sure I follow you there. I mean, jealous of what?
Well, for instance, Ben Elton.
I don't have to do this, you know.
All right. Look, I'm sorry.
Go.
All right. Fair enough, moving on then. Many consider your masterpiece, of course, to be the album Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. And there is one song that people are particularly moved by called Candle in the Wind.
Yes, a lot of people seem to like that song.
Now, this song is in fact dedicated to Norma Jean Baker, who, of course, changed her name to Monroe Marilyn.
Marilyn Monroe.
My point exactly. Marilyn is a Christian name, so it comes first. Can't you see that? Are you word blind or something? I mean, it's...
I've had enough of this.
All right, no, wait, please. I'm sorry. See, please, I'm sorry, it was my mistake. I'm sorry. There's only one more question to go. It won't take long, really. It won't take a moment. Sorry, there's only... I am... Please, sit down. One final question. You've obviously achieved enormous success over the years, but in fact, you didn't have a solo British #1 until this year, with a song called Sacrifice. Now, my big question is this. Surely, you wouldn't have had to wait so long for a #1 if it hadn't been for your stupid, pointless, bloody name!
Bang! What a head, Dick.
I thought it might be a little apt at this stage of the evening to discuss the subject of contraception and the sexism therein, because I don't know who it was that designed all the various methods of contraception available to the public, but I hazard a guess that it was a man. Because let's take a look at a consumer's guide to contraception. On the girls' side, for the women, there are 3 options. You can either have a little pill that might give you thrombosis, heart failure, and mess up your skin. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Or the lady in question may choose to favour a little rubber pudding basin, which she's expected to fill with spermicidal napalm. Oh, really gets you in the mood for a shag, that, doesn't it, eh? You're thinking, oh, dear, if this stuff kills 6 million sperms, what's it doing on the inside of my fanny, then? Well, you'd have to think. You'd have to wonder. It's not an aphrodisiac. The Dutch cap does not turn you on. I mean, oh, God, do we have to shag tonight? I don't want to put... Oh, all right, then. Stay out of the bathroom. You won't like this. You stagger into the bathroom. It's midnight. You got work in the morning. Dig out the old Dutch cap. Fill it up with napalm. I think I better put the whole tube in. I don't want to get pregnant by him, right? You're trying... this one perno too many, and you're trying to guide this up, you know. The bathroom's spinning round. You've forgotten to take your knickers off. You can't... You can see three gussets. You don't know which one to aim at. You know, this is prior to making love. You got napalm dribbling down your thighs. Bung your leg up on the toilet to steady yourself a little bit. You're trying to guide it, and you can hear him snoring next door. You think, I'm going to wake that bastard up and I'll make him shag me. I'll have to put it in a splint after going through this. You're trying to stick it in, you don't know whether you've got the right position or not. Finally, it's in position, it's there, oh no, it shoots across the bathroom then. You shout and have another fag, it's gone behind the toilet, you want. You're trying to fish it out. Oh dear, I must clean that bog. You fish it out from behind her, you're picking the pubes off, you think, well, they might be mine, but I'm not sticking them back up again, am I? You get up, you fill it up with napalm again, rinse it under the tap first, fill it. Oh, bollocks, I put Colgate in it. Work out whether fluoride has the same effect on sperm it has on plaque, you know. Jeez, what did I just brush my teeth with, you know, because I've been there. I'm a bit of a new man, I make an effort, I try and, you know, is there anything I can do to help? Love, just catch it, whoa, there we go. I've got a few shooting across the bathroom, Peter shooting me, I'd wait, there we go. They ought to train goalkeepers like that, give a whole new meaning to the term capped for England, wouldn't it? You can either choose that, or the lady may say, well, no, I don't want the rubber pudding basin. I prefer to have a small piece of barbed wire stuffed up my flaps. That is what is available for the girls, right? You've got thrombosis, napalm, or barbed wire. Now, what has medical science, in all its genius, come up with for the boys? Rubber Johnny. That's it, well, it stop it works, Rubber Johnny. Don't believe all those articles about the male pill. What is it actually there, Rubber Johnny? No decades of research into the hormonal balance of a man's body, no. No question of sticking a small fishhook down the one eye. Fuck all that, no. It's Rubber Johnny. And amazingly, lads offered this fabulous option. Don't mess up your body, don't have any pain, you just cover it up. You still don't want to do it. I don't want to use a Rubber Johnny, I don't like them. I don't like Rubber Johnnies, I don't want to... I'm sensitive, it spoils my sensitivity. Because I love you, darling, and I want to feel with us together in our... And I'm sensitive, and I don't like Rubber Johnnies because I love you and I'm a sensitive person, so stick a bit of barbed wire at your box, love. Go on. We need to think a little bit... We need to think a little bit harder about our attitude to sex. I mean, being here tonight is so important. We should celebrate sexuality. Why is sexuality, particularly in this country, such a brutalised thing? Sexual acts become insults, right? Sexual acts are insults. Big insult, wanker. Oi, winger. 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 It's not much of an insult, is it? I mean... stating the obvious, really, isn't it? Be honest. I mean, if we were a bit more honest about our bodies, you go out in the street, you go, oi, wanker, everyone would say, yeah, what? What do you say? Oh, yes. Let's have a little bit of liberation sexuality, ladies and gentlemen. Let's open our minds. Let's confess to the small, farty, bare-forked animals that we are. Come on, liberate yourself. OK, we'll make it a little easier on you, ladies and gentlemen. A little easier. Who's going to deny? And this is for the girls too, because leaning up against the tumble dryer counts, all right? Who is going to deny? Let's say in the last year. Let's say in the last year, so you don't look like a terminal wanker, you know, well, occasionally, you know. When I'm on my own, you know, well, you know, maybe a little bit here and there. Who in the last year is going to deny that they haven't had a little of a twiddle? Come on. A little bit of a twang on a one-string bass, a little bit of a twiddle down there. Boys and girls, there's no one. Liberate yourselves. It's marvellous. Let's free our minds. Let's get it out in the open. Well, obviously not now. I mean, that'd go down well in the sun, wouldn't it? Ben coordinates mass wank on Jason's stage. Politicians, world leaders, don't you think it would be wonderful if when Gorbachev, all yelps in these days, sits down with Bush, you know, before they start planning our futures, they said to each other, before we start, let's be honest, we're both a couple of wankers. I think they would make far better decisions. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure to be here tonight. What we're raising tonight, consciousness, raising money, such an important thing. We know it's a crisis coming, we face it together. Needs a healthy National Health Service as well as evenings like this. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a real pleasure to be here. Thank you. My name's Ben Elton. Good night.
Welcome, Sam Brown, ladies and gentlemen. Together again, my tears have stopped falling. long, lonely, lonely nights are now at an end.
The key to your heart is back in my arms, and nothing else matters, darling, 'cause we're together again.
French and Saunders.
And so am I.
I'm Jennifer Saunders.
And so am I.
And I'm Dawn French.
What?
I'm Dawn French.
No, I'm Dawn French.
Forget it. I'd like to be able to say it's lovely to be here this evening at the Hippodrome Theatre. But of course I can't. Well, can you imagine showing a dressing room with ruby wax and that? Still looking quite nice this evening. Done yourself up a bit.
Thank you.
Lost something off here.
Have I? What, my necklace?
No. Off here.
Oh, my beard.
Yes.
Yes, I've had it completely electrolysed off.
Oh. You know what you should have done, don't you?
What?
Liposuction. No, you should. Well, you could have all that fat sucked out your bottom, pumped into your cheeks.
I've had that done already. Only the other way round.
What do you mean?
I've had all the fat sucked out of my cheeks and pumped into my bottom.
It's disgusting.
No, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I can recommend it highly, really.
It's just...
Well, I've got to stay trim, haven't I, Jen?
Stay trim?
Because of my other career.
What other career?
Everybody knows about my other career.
What's that, postman, is it? What is it?
I am a top cover girl model, as you well know.
I didn't know that.
Which is why I can only eat 2 tapeworms
Will you
a day.
shut up now?
No, honestly, otherwise the chubbiness goes to my fingers.
Shut up now, please. Have you finished? Right, on with the show, ladies and gentlemen. Because we are, of course, in the home of variety, I thought tonight a little magic for... A little... What are you doing now? What are you doing?
I was just checking if our guests were in.
Oh, yeah, we'll have a look for my guest, see if she's here.
Who's your guest?
Madonna. Is she here? Is she here? Madonna? Madonna!
Oh, do you mean a Madonna?
What?
The mother of our Lord, or the Madonna?
The Madonna.
The Madonna?
Can you have a look? She'll be in a little pointy bra or something. A nipple thing. God, I'll be pissed off if she hasn't turned up. I sent her Frank and Nesta Boff's tickets. Nesta will be broken-hearted. She doesn't get out a lot these days.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't.
Who have you got in?
Cher.
Oh. You used to Cher. Cher.
No, don't embarrass her.
Do you know she won't be here?
What?
Cher won't be here.
What? How do you mean?
Well, she can't laugh these days. Just splits her sides and her face falls off. She won't be in. She won't be in.
Well, she could have let me know because I've paid for that ticket.
They have all paid for their tickets.
I know that, you bloody ninkwink. They paid for tickets and they're watching a show. I paid for a ticket and I'm up here doing a bloody...
Go on then. Off, go on. No, if you'd rather be watching the show, off you go. No, go on. Off you go. Don't let me stop. Don't let me stop you. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, just find a seat. Find a seat.
Excuse me.
On with the show, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that. Right, ladies and gentlemen, settle down now, please. Shut up. Right, ladies and gentlemen, some variety for you. This evening I'm going to do I'm going to be doing
I've heard it all before!
I'm going to be doing my
Why don't you do the fat men of the television?
Why don't you shut up if you're going to watch the show? I'm going to be doing my very famous sawing a woman in half trick, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, the first requirement for this trick is my very famous box. Here's my very famous box, ladies and gentlemen. There we are. Thank you. And of course, the second requirement for this lovely trick is a volunteer from the audience. Just anyone, put your hand down. Put your hand down now. Anyone from the audience now, just put your hand down and wait until I say sausages. What's the secret sign? Right, just anyone from the audience. Stay where you are, please, madam. Stay where you are. Anyone from the audience, just to come up now and help me sausages with this trick. Just sausages. Anyone from the audience now, just to come. I'm looking for a sausage in the audience, ladies and gentlemen. Sausages, sausages, sausages!
Oh, please let it be me.
Oh, come up!
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Right.
Oh, God, everyone's looking at me.
Oh, stop doing that. I think you've got plants down there. Right. Thank you for coming up on stage to help me with this trick. What's your name, Dawn?
My name's Jim.
Jim. Thank you for coming up to help me with this trick, Jim. Tell me, am I completely safe in your hands?
You most certainly are, Jim. So into the box with you straight away.
No, it should be you in the box.
No, you can go and I'm fed up of doing it.
No, you should go in the bloody box. It's not me in the bloody box.
Oh, you. Here's a chair for you, Jim, right behind you there. All the way in, Jim. Marvellous, wonderful, wonderful, marvellous, marvellous, wonderful. Thank you, well done, Jim. Now then. No, you've got to poke your head out.
I can't get my bloody head out.
How are people going to know it's you? Poke your head out the hole. Put your legs over the top. That's how it works. I can't get my legs right over the top and get them down inside you. Go back out. Now then, Jim. Are you completely safe in my hands?
Yes, you are.
Thank you. Now then, Jim. We know it's you inside the box, Jim. Because we can see your feet. Could you please wiggle your feet to prove it's you? Good. Well done, Jim. Now then, Jim. To prove to you, Jim, that this saw, with which I am going to cut you in half with which, is very, very sharp with which, yes. I am going to do this. Ow! Ah! Very, very sharp, I think you have to agree. Da-doing, da-doing, da-doing. Now then, are you safe in my hands, Jim?
You are.
Here we go.
No, stop. No, stop. What? Well, you're going to get me if you go there, aren't you? That's where I am, just there. Go a bit further down.
I'll go further down?
Yes.
What, here?
No, a bit further.
What, here?
Bit further.
What about here?
Bit further.
No, listen. What about here?
Yes.
Good. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Very tense. Ladies and gentlemen, I have managed to separate Jim from her feet. Jim, are these, or are they not? Or are they not? Think carefully, your very own feet.
They are.
Could you please wiggle them to prove it? Ladies and gentlemen, the very famous sawing a woman in half trick. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I knew how it would feel to be free. I would break all these chains that they've got holding me. Oh, I wish I could say all the things I'd want to say. I'd say them loud and I'd say them clear for the whole damn world to hear. Yes, I would. I'd let everybody know. Oh, Lord, I would tell them the way it feels. Let them know what to say is real. Say it loud, say it clear, so that everyone could hear. Oh, I wish I could say all the love in my heart. Oh, Lord, sometimes keeping us apart. Oh, I wish I could know, oh, I know how it feels to be me. Then you'd see and agree that everybody should be free. I want you all to stand up and clap your hands. Come on, everybody. There you go.
Hysteria.